Hello, and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm your host, Jeremy Gaines, and I'm joined alongside by Evan Lasek and Tim Rogers. It is a fantastic time to be an MMA fan because UFC 259 is this Saturday, and the main card features not one, not two, but three, that is three, title fights. Topping the bill is light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz, who faces Israel Adesanya, who is arguably the most entertaining fighter in the UFC. Let's break down these highly anticipated title bouts. Peter Yan starts us off by making his first ever bantamweight championship defense against Aljamain Sterling. Evan, odds have this as a toss-up. Who do you give the edge here?
So it is an even fight. They're both down. I believe it was minus 120 for the odds. So I'm going to give the fight to Peter Yan here. I think he's going to defend very well. He is coming off a huge win against Jose Aldo. In that fight last year, he landed 258 out of 376 strikes total. More than half of those shots were to the head of Jose Aldo. That's going to be a lot for Sterling to handle, and I don't think he can do it. Peter Yan is a brawler, and he's got the reach for it. If he gets in close with you, those hooks are just going to demolish Sterling, and I don't think he'll be able to keep that up. He is a fantastic fighter, and I don't see how he doesn't come out with a win here.
Peter Yan needs this fight. He is probably one of the most untested champions right now in the UFC. He did beat Aldo, but Aldo's pretty old. I mean, Yan, he's known to be a brawler. Sterling, he said it today in an interview. He said, all I need is one takedown. I could shoot 100 times, one is all it takes. Jan's gonna need that takedown defense if he wants to remain champion. He's gotta make sure that he stays upright too. That's where Sterling's weaknesses is. Yan, again, so untested. If he wants to be known as one of the greatest champions in the UFC, he's gotta start out with a big dominant win here against Aljamain Sterling.
I completely agree. He definitely needs to stay upright. Keeping him off the floor is gonna be essential to a victory here.
Nunes has cleaned out her division in dominant fashion, but now she has a new challenger in Aussie Megan Anderson. Tim, can Anderson dethrone Nunes, or are we just going to enjoy watching the legend display the mastery of her craft?
This might be a hot take. Amanda Nunes is the GOAT of the entire UFC. I'm not just talking women's division, I'm talking entire UFC. She's carried the UFC women's division for years now. And I mean, she really has dominated almost every time she stepped in there. If she loses, the world would collapse. Both are great jiu-jitsu, but Nunes said her greatest strength and her greatest tool is gonna be boxing. If she is able to keep it stand up and use her boxing to advantage, Anderson's great, but it's Amanda Nunes. She's gonna come out on top.
I do not doubt that at all. Like you said, she is the GOAT. Face of the UFC may be a little questionable. I'm still giving that to Khabib right now, but Amanda Nunes, the legend is real, and the legend is going to continue on Saturday. I don't see how anybody could stop her at this point. She is an incredible fighter. She's an incredible jiu-jitsu mixed martial artist. I cannot see anybody beating her, especially at this point in her career. She's just going to continue to get better, and she's just going to continue to dominate in the women's league.
Finally, we have the highly anticipated main event. Israel Adesanya and his magnetic personality move up to light heavyweight to try and claim another belt. Adesanya already holds the middleweight title, but now he faces an interesting challenge from Jan Blachowicz, who TKO'd Dominic Reyes in UFC 253 to earn his belt. Who wins this meeting of two champs, Evan?
So this is a really, really difficult fight for me because Adesanya, incredible fighter in the middleweight class, but now he's going to light heavyweight. That's going to be really difficult for him, especially with a guy who weighs 20 pounds more than him. Yes, that was at weigh-in. He definitely added some weight. He's going to fight at a different weight than he's at. I believe he's at 185 right now, while Blachowicz is at 205. But again, 6'4", 185. He's got the reach on Blachowicz all day. And I really like Izzy here. This dude is an incredible fighter. His kicks are terrifying. He throws with such authority and such speed, it's gonna be difficult for Blachowicz to really defend any of that. His defense is not a problem because he's always on the attack, it seems. He's always coming at you, and it's a different league for him. It's a huge match, but I don't think his fight style is gonna change at all. I think he's gonna be going at him, and he's gonna try to keep him on the floor, keep him down, and just really take advantage of it.
I think this is truly the hardest fight to predict, not just for this card, but for a lot of cards in a long time. I mean, you got Jan Blachowicz, who has some of the strongest hands I've ever seen. I mean, he did it against Dominic Reyes with a perfect left hook, and Reyes was stumbling, just like that. That's all it took. But I gotta go with the last style bender here in Izzy. The way that he uses his kicks, and the way that he is just so exciting to people and how he can change it, I don't see how, although it's going to be a challenge to move up, this is a huge opportunity for him to be in that GOAT status, to be with those Khabibs. And I know he wants to fight John Jones. That's what I want to see. That's probably what everybody wants to see. He's got to beat Jan first, if that's even a reality.
Yeah, Adesanya 20-0. He's really going up. He's stepping up his game. He wants another belt, and I do not blame him. Last fight against Costa, he knocked him out. He TKO'd him in round 2, landing 55 of 84 significant strikes. You can't, in round 2, he landed 55 strikes out of that. That's incredible. And I don't know how long, I hope it's a good match. I hope it goes to round 5, but I could also see Adesanya really surprising the people and just taking out this fight instantaneously.
I don't think there is anybody, and I mean anybody in the UFC, that if they go and they think they can stand toe-to-toe with Israel Adesanya, strike with him one-on-one, they're going to get embarrassed. Izzy is the cleanest striker we have seen in a long time. There's a reason he's called the last style bender. The way he moves, nobody's going to be able to. I really like Jan Blachowicz. I really do. But I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the speed. We saw, like you said, against the Paulo Costa fight, Izzy beats power every time. I don't see why that's not a reality this time.
I'll ride with the last style bender as well. Blachowicz has impressive power, but we have seen Israel have an answer for all sorts of fighting styles, and he will find a way to win once again. That will do it for our preview of UFC 259. I couldn't be more excited for this card, and we hope that you all who are watching enjoy the fights as well. That'll do it for here on Penn State Sports Night. For Evan Lasek and Tim Rogers, I'm Jeremy Gaines. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.
Thank you for watching this edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also, follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.